So that building in itself is a unique structure. First of all, it's built in the wetlands, right? So there's water running through it. It's all stone, masonry, foundations, old timber. I mean, you don't see that style of building in today's world. So in our process of dewatering,
Yeah.
where it kept coming up, that we found a large crack in the actual foundation.
So that's where the water was actually coming in?
So as we were pumping it out, it was flowing in just as
Yeah,
fast.
yeah.
So the solution, obviously, and I don't know if you know this or not, but you can talk about the solution. Grassmere's been in business for 26 years. We're a design build contractor. We're a unique firm because we don't get to build the normal building. Anything that's got any irregularity, it's unique, it's hard work. Grassmere seems to get the job. Our number one phase is the basement, which is getting rid of the water, pouring a foundation base in, and pouring 2 concrete piers in order to put the timbers back in to shore the basement floor, because there's 3 levels. One of the big obstacles that we came across already right now is we went to go start the structuring of the foundations, so we had to remove all the water. So we've been pumping waters for like 4 days and we couldn't figure out why the water. So once we got it down to a certain level and we dammed off actually the mill in itself to stop the water, we detected a huge crack in the foundation. So with the consultants and our experience, we've came across a solution in order to repair that with the same guidelines of what the drawings were, but just using different construction methods. The challenge of trying to get that water out of there and then to excavate and put the geotechnical in the stone, that's how we thought we were going to do it, was a challenge in itself, because I'd have 5 guys with wheelbarrows taking like 10 dump truck loads of stone in through a man door. Like, I mean, just so labor intensive in order to make that happen. But once we started pumping it and the water just kept coming in and in, we had to find another solution. So we had a meeting down on site, my project manager Chris, with the engineers, and they came up with a different solution in order to pump concrete in. Much like how, when there's large bridges and there's piers in the water, and they drive these big caissons on, and as they're pumping the concrete in, the concrete's curing because it's a different admix. We're going to the same type of thing here, because we're never going to get rid of all the water down there. But as we fill it up and make it structurally sound, we've found the proper admixture of today's technologies in order to make that happen. Once we get the basement poured back in place and we get it secured and tight and put some shores in, then we move up to the next floor to put in our pillars, which is our old rough timbers, like 8x8s and 10x10s, which you'll see when you get there, that supports the floor systems. Some of them are missing. Some of them you can actually see when you walk there that there's a notch in a beam, that post just isn't there anymore. Maybe it fell apart, maybe it disintegrated. But I mean, to give it back its structural sound, what it's required, like for that building to be sound and safe, that's what needs to happen. And then the third phase is the windows.
So here's one of the existing windows that are in here with some damages that are done to it. So what we're doing, we're pulling these windows out, taking them back to the shop and refinishing them there, which is where we are replacing and basically refurbishing any existing wood that needs to be fixed, along with the single pane glass, where we'll reglaze it all in and make them kind of look like they were back then.
As far as the grindstones, I think they have been operational. I think that there will be a lot more confidence in the person that's going to run them, that they should be able to run with a little bit more ease in their mind that we do have a foundation, a structural building. So nothing's going to fall down because you know how old it is. But I mean, I think that's something that everybody loves to see when they are on. Well, I hope to see that when we're done, you can't tell that somebody just finished that. I hope that when I take my kids in there in the summertime and we're going through a tour, and other than the concrete, which you will probably notice, but it'll match the other concrete in the floor, I'm gonna ask them, where's the timbers that I replaced? Can you tell which windows I did and which windows I didn't? And if they can't, then I think I've succeeded and done our job.
A number of the posts have been either cut off and moored up, or bigger moorings there, especially here. You can see that's a brand new post there.
And I see they've got a
new cross brace
up there. I'd say it's a professional job of restoration.
Yeah.